we are looking software testing strategies, in which we have seen there should be a formal review conducted by the developer team, the communication between developer and customer in frequent manner. Testing start from the component level and then finally complete computer based system. What is component level? Testing start from component level means it should be start from a small parts, small units, and then finally complete computer based system. By starting the testing of small units, that small units then finally comprises all the computer based system, and this kind of strategy everyone who wants to do a job of software tester have to follow. As per the requirement, a different testing technique must be used. Means we should not stuck on particular technique. This also one kind of strategy. Means most of the time our mentality is like that, because every time we think we should be in comfort zone, we should be remain in comfort zone throughout the period. So we never try to get out that comfort zone, whether it may be in our living standard or whether it may be our job, right? In job also we always find comfort zone. Over there also we use a routine or conventional path, but there should be a different testing technique which we have to use as per the requirement, because by using different software testing techniques it gives different results, and maybe at some particular age whatever the results we get by the different techniques, that may get applied and become very useful for particular product at particular moment. Next one, testing may be conducted by the software developer itself. Testing may be conducted by software developer itself. Means there should be no third party for the testing. With the team who are going to develop, the person from that team should have to come forward and do the testing. So in such scenario, the actual facts come out, and on that actual facts which are become the cause for the failure or degradation or performance of any product, developer can easily find out. Next, strategy of software testing. Even though testing and debugging are two separate activities, debugging should be accommodated in testing strategies. Debugging is one of the part of our testing, right? So we have to follow a separate route and separate strategy for testing and debugging, and debugging should be get accommodated in testing strategies, right? Have you seen the video that I have made for to understand in brief debugging? Please see it. What is debugging, right? Please see that video. These are the some points which we can take it as a software testing strategies. And who said these points? These points or these different strategies comes out when many experts or many developers works on particular systems for the fine product creation. They find out if we follow such path, then we will get best output. So that's why we have to believe on such strategies. Next point is that fundamentals of software testing. If you want to do something in particular area, it is mandatory we should have idea about fundamentals of that subject. If we do not have the fundamentals, fundamental idea of the particular subject, then we cannot understand what exactly going on. We will work, but if you don't know the summary or the fundamentals behind that, finally we will not get the fine output. Okay. So here on your screen you can see some fundamentals of software testing, on which any software tester have to focus. Testability. What is testability? The sentence itself is telling about that. How easily a software can be tested effectively. How easily software can be tested effectively. This is the summary, or in precise format we can say testability. Means test should be easy and it should be effective. It is the secret behind the testability, and that we have to follow. Otherwise, what many times what happened, we test the things, whether it may be software, whether it may be a human body, whether it may be any mechanical part, but if the testing is difficult and if it is not efficient, then what is the use of that kind of test? So test should be easy and it should be effective. These are the important points of testability. Alright, means if you want to find out the bugs or find out whether the software is working on correct path or not, we have to find out such a way which are very easy to find out the particular bugs, and that easy way, that very simple way should give a effective result. That is testability. Keep in mind the words and the meanings. Operability. Operability. The characteristic of a system that makes it working. How fantastic way it is described now. Okay. Operability is telling that it is the characteristic of system. It is the way of the system. It is the rules of the system. It is the approach of the system that makes it working. That it makes working. So how the rules or how the attributes or how the system works, that is termed as operability. Right? If it is working smoothly in a particular restricted rules, then we can see or we can make a check like that. Oh, the operation is very good and smooth and well. So this is one of the fundamental of software testing. Alright, means we have to check that the characteristics on which any software works. Then observability, an ability to see or observe. This is also one of the very key point of any software testing. This observability is fundamental of software testing. It is the ability to see. How we see towards any product, what the angle we have to see, to inspect any particular product, that is important. Okay, many times the faults become a big and big. Why? Because we do not have that eye, the eye which see the exactly bug or the fault, and that eye is very important. Then controllability. What is that? If we can control the software, then the testing can be automated and optimized very well. Very good. Means first of all, testers should have idea about how to control the software. Sentence looking very small, but it requires too much knowledge. If you want to control the software, means we should have very depth in that particular subject, very deep knowledge in particular software. Then we can control, or then the software tester can control that software. Right? So when we control the system or when we control the software, then automatically testing get optimized. Otherwise what happened, you know? I want to tell you one example. If you have control on a car, what it means? You have proper idea of clutch, brake, accelerator, then the lights, then the seat belts, then the seat arrangement, then how to make your position, then how to use the screen, then how to see the different gadgets available on the dashboard. Okay, and the last but not least, if you have actual practical knowledge of driving, then you can easily find out the things which becomes the cause for the failure of that car, or the cause which are becoming the down performance of that car. So it's very good sentence. If we can control the car, then the testing can be automated and optimized very well. Have you understand meaning? So please keep in mind stability, operability, observability, controllability. The next, decomposability. Controlling the scope of testing means finding the cause of the problem quickly, and once it is done, smarter retesting can be done. Decomposability means what is this? This fundamentally is telling that if we have the knowledge of the system, and if we have the particular method to control the software, in that case we can decompose the thing. We can easily decompose the thing. Actually, the finding the any bug or error or any cause, what it means? It means first we have to make a two part of this system. Then we have to check whether in which part the cause is there or problem is there. Then again we make the two part of that half part, and we find out where actually defect is that. The same process we repeat, and we decompose finally where actually defect is there, and we find out the particular defect. So decomposability, and when we achieve such kind of knowledge or such kind of activity which requires as a fundamental of software testing, if we have exact particular idea about how to control the software, then we can decompose the things. Otherwise no. Then simplicity, if amount of errors are less, then very quickly we can conduct and complete testing. Very good. If we have system which we can control, decompose very easily, because whatever the system that we have made, if it having very simple look and simple execution system, in that case we can easily do the testing. So simplicity is the fundamental behind any software, any product, not only software, any product. Keep the product as simple as, so a client can also understand, or end user or customer can easily understand, and developer also can understand the thing. If by chance any defect occur, stability, whatever the product that developer team is going to build, there should be a minimum, there should create a minimum chance to change anything. So less changes are also a fundamental thing behind any product. Make a product in such a way it should not require any further change, right? further change means we are talking about not agile approach kind of further change. We are talking about physical change, hardware change, right? So do the work on it and use the such software which at least keep its the things some maximum period. So stability, understandability, more information leads to smart testing. Means whatever the parts, whatever the code that we have used, regarding that the more information should be available anywhere, everywhere, for the tester, for the developer, for the client, for the customer, for the user. Then finally, if the tester knows the more information about any particular thing of software product, then it leads to smart testing. So have you understand? I have explained the things with the examples also, and keep in mind always these things, these fundamentals are applicable to not only software testing, it is applicable to all the processes most of the time. But regarding the software testing, keep in mind the fundamentals: testability, operability, observability, controllability, decomposability, simplicity, stability, understandability. If we have such kinds of fundamental knowledge about anything, it gives always a better performance. Then test characteristics of good test. Don't compromise on quality. I am going to just read the things. I am not going to give any example because this is simple to understand. Ensure end user satisfaction. These are the characteristics of test. Think from the user perspective. Prioritize tests. Never promise 100% coverage. Give your focus on here. Be open to suggestions. Start early. Identify and manage risks. Do market research. Develop good analyzing skill. Focus on negative side as well. Be a good judge of your product. Finally, be a good observer. Means whatever the strategy that we have seen and whatever the fundamentals that we have seen regarding the testing, which we have to apply as a test characteristics. If we have knowledge about the fundamentals and the strategy of the software testing, and if we are not going to use actual software testing, it means what? We are not following the very good practices or very good route which gives the very good results, and that practices are nothing but the test characteristics of the good test. Have you understand? Please give your focus and read all the things and keep always in mind. Okay. Then the principles of testing. All tests should be traceable to customer requirement. Tests should be planned long before testing begins. Testing should begin in the small and progress towards testing in the large. Exhaustive testing is not possible. To be most effective, testing should be conducted by independent third party. These are the testing principles. Alright. What I am going to repeat, all tests should be traceable to customer requirement. Means what? की कस्टमरच्या रिक्वायरमेंटनुसार त्या सगळ्या टेस्ट ह्या ट्रेसेबल असल्या पाहिजेत. हो की नाही? नाहीतर काय बाबा कस्टमर म्हणतोय की मला ह्या ठिकाणी हा रिपोर्ट सेव्ह झाला पाहिजे आणि तो सेव्ह होते वेळेस त्याच्यामध्ये बर्थ डेट पण आली पाहिजे. ठीक आहे. आणि ज्यावेळेस टेस्ट करतोय त्यावेळेस ती बर्थ डेट येण्याऐवजी फक्त इयर येत आहे तर ते चालणार नाही. कस्टमरची रिक्वायरमेंट जर डेट मंथ आणि बर्थ डेट असेल तर ती त्याला ट्रेस झाली पाहिजे ज्यावेळेस फायनल टेस्टिंग होईल, राईट, की ओके change is there. Test should be planned long before testing begins. Okay, have you understand? Simple one. Again, the next is also simple. Exhaustive testing is not possible. Means what? Means in a short period of time do everything clear. No, not possible. To be most effective, testing should be conducted by an independent third party. Then it will give the best results. These are the example test script. And already I have explained the things in practical session by giving the example of Indian Railway. And in very deep I have explained it with test scenario also and with test cases also. The video is available on our YouTube channel. Here this is one of the example. System test of input numeric month into data field. This test having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 columns are there. By using that 6 columns, tester do the testing of particular test case. Suppose reference 001 means this is test 1, field month, action, what action we have to do, enter data, input 0, expected result, data rejected, error message, invalid month, test, pass, fail, fail. Means we have to do a test on, if we have a page in which we have to fill month, right, and which is showing, if we put the data in digit format 1 to 12, it gives the output which month it is. If we put 0, it will not give anything. It means what? The expected result, data rejected, error message, invalid month, pass, fail, and it should be displayed on that particular page where we are entering the actual information. It becomes user friendly. Oh, actually where the error occurs. If we give the data 1 as a input, action, enter data, in where, in the field month, then it should get it will get accepted and it will display January month. Test is pass, pass, pass. Again, why fail? Because input that we have given manually. This is manual testing. Suppose one page which having such kind of fields which shows such output if we entered digits from 1 to 12. This is a manual testing, and here we have checked the 5 cases, right. When it will show fail status when we enter 0 or 13, 0 number or minus number or fraction number or the number more than 12, then it will show a fail message. Okay. Testing during development life cycle. What is this? Which model is this? Simple, na? It is waterfall model. Okay. Requirement definition done by customer. Analyze requirements to form an initial software model. Design detailed definition of input, outputs and processor, including data structure, software structure, etc. That we have already seen. System testing. Right. Goal: to discover errors, correct errors to achieve an acceptable level of quality, carried out by developer prior to delivery. It is get carried out prior to delivery. Sometimes acceptance test is carried out by customer or conjunction with developer. Acceptance test, keep in mind, when the acceptance test is there, it is carried out by customer or conjunction with developer. After testing, system is installed and or replaced an existing system. Required software data conversion. Important to not interrupt daily activities during conversion process. Means what we have seen, testing during development life cycle. When the testing is there when we finish the coding. then the testing is there. Acceptance testing is the last. It's carried out by the customer. But the testing, the actual main testing is the phase which is carried out prior to hand over the product to the customer. Requirement traceability matrix means a matrix is developed as per the requirement for the find out any particular scene is missing or not regarding testing. RTM, keep in mind RT1, RTM, it is requirement traceability matrix. एक असा टेबल की जो कस्टमरच्या गरजा फाइंड आउट करतो, एक रिलेशन मेंटेन करून. RTM is a document that maps and traces user requirement with test cases. Completely traceability of software application from requirements through designs and code files up to test scenario, test data, test cases and test results. One can expect a blueprint of an entire application with the requirement matrix as per the following table. How many columns are there? Requirements, high level design, low level design, code files or stored procedure, test scenario, test cases, test results. If we put the things over here as an answer of the column is expecting, it is nothing but it is entire application using requirement matrix. It is entire application using requirement matrix. If we put the value over here, right? What are if we get the values over there as per the column is saying, then what are the advantages of that RTM? Entire software development can be traced completely through requirement traceability matrix that we have seen. And test case failure can be traced through requirements design coding. And test case failure can be traced through requirements design coding, etc. This is one of the advantages. Any changes in requirement can be affected through entire work product up to test cases. And the last, the application becomes maintainable. If we have RTM, then application becomes maintainable. As we know that if we have particular model in your hand, there may be some advantages, there may be some limitations, or it leads into the problem. What are the problems of RTM? Difficult to create requirement traceability matrix manually. There may be one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many relationship between various elements of traceability matrix. Oh, it's okay, and it's a correct one. Requirement changes frequently, and one needs to update the requirement traceability matrix whenever there is a change. Again, it is a difficult task, right? Development team does not understand the importance of requirement traceability matrix if development follows a different model approach. And finally, customer may not find value in it and may not pay for it. Very important. Why the customer do the care of this RTM? It's not the job to care the RTM. So, as it requires too many efforts, but customer is not ready to pay for that efforts. So, these are some major problems regarding RTM. There are some different methods regarding traceability that we use in RTM. Horizontal traceability, it shows relationship among related items such as between requirements itself. Then vertical traceability, bidirectional traceability. Essentials of software testing, SWOT analysis. Everywhere, in every company, for every model, for every exercise, if we do SWOT analysis, it leads into the very good results. SWOT analysis. What is SWOT? S for strengths, W for weakness, O for opportunity, T for threats. First, work on the area where the software is very strong. Then find out the weaknesses where the software is very weak. Then find out the area where software is providing very good results, and also find out the particular code or particular model where there is a possibility of threatening. Do the analysis of everything of software with respect to strength, weakness, opportunity and threats. It directly beneficial for the software testing. Okay. Some misconceptions about testing. Anyone can do testing and no special skills are required for testing. Have you understand? No. Yes, no. Anyone cannot perform the testing. They are required some special skills. Tester can test quality of product at the end of development process. Tester never checks the quality. Tester only checks whether the product is working smoothly or not with correct output. Defects found in the testing are blamed on developers. Have you understand? Okay. Defects found by customer are blamed on tester. Again, this is misconception. Overall, it's a teamwork. Principles of software testing that we have seen also. Programmers team must avoid testing their own work products. Understand? Means testers should be from the different team, but it requires knowledge. Thoroughly inspect results of each test to find potential improvements. Okay, very good. Initiate actions for corrective action and preventive actions. Okay, just I want to see the things. That we have seen, silent features or characteristics. Very good pyramid showing test policy, test strategy, test plan. At apex or at upper side, test policy. It's an organizational level document. Then state test strategy and test plan. Test strategy is program level document and test plan is project level document. Test procedure and test cases, test reports, bugs and issue reports. Have you understand? At bottom level there are test reports. Then above the test reports there is test procedures and test cases that we carried out. Then the test plan, then test strategy and then test policy. Keep in mind this pyramid. This is telling about the exact picture of testing, exact picture of testing environment or testing organization. Okay. Test planning. Plan testing efforts adequately with assumption that defects are there. If defects are not found, it is failure of testing activity. Keep in mind. Have you understand? Successful tester is not one who appreciate development, but one who finds defect in the product. Testing is not a formality to be completely at the end of development life cycle. We are at very important point, verification and validation. Every time, everywhere, though you are fresher or though you have experience, such types of questions may get asked in interview also, in your oral also. So we will see the everything about what is verification and validation in testing in next lecture. Okay, I am going to close the window.